excited to be receiving this award together because we love working together, and together we collaborate on some pretty good projects for the community.
Yes, thank you. We've done a lot of projects together, and this feels very good for us because we take our Leadership Corpus Christi experience very seriously. And when you honor us together, it makes us feel like you hold us in the same esteem as some other great partnerships. People who mean a lot to us, who really trailblaze a lot of different ways. Dolce & Gabbana, Sunny and Cher, Will and Grace.
That's right, but we wouldn't be here today without some distinguished alumni who helped us along our journey. And I know the first person we'd like to thank together isn't here today, but I want Bill Richmond to know that I really appreciated the lunch at the Yacht Club. It was so good.
It was, but I appreciate it a lot more, Jessica, because what Bill did for us, what a lot of people don't know in the room, is 5 years ago, Bill took us to lunch and taught us about the history of Leadership Corpus Christi. And he really taught us to look backwards so we could look forwards. And at that table 5 years ago was where the idea for the Leadership Alumni Rose was born. And we talked through that idea for about an hour and a half and fleshed it out for about another hour and a half. And he gave us his blessing and he gave us wings. And that event was a ticket to our financial freedom that year because we really needed some money in the bank.
That's right. When we started the board, when we got on the board together, Omar and I went up the ranks to officers, and he was chair and I was chair-elect, which really meant I was chair for those 2 years. But we started on the board, and we had $2,500 in the bank. And after the first roast with Bud Harris, we had $7,500, and then Chris Adler came and bumped us into the $20,000 range, Chris Adler. And now, after Scott and our chairman, Todd Hunter, we have $48,000 in the bank, which means that is more money for Leadership Corpus Christi programs. But it doesn't end there. We have to thank another dear alumni, which is Sharon Kalaya. Thank you for all the lunch at the Level Cafe. Our favorite part of lunch is when the bill would come and Omar and I would be like, and Sharon would pick it up.
Sharon, you took us to a lot of lunches. Where are you in the room, Sharon? She's outside. Well, let me tell you about Sharon. Sharon really taught us the lesson of perseverance with Leadership Corpus Christi, because Sharon taught us to never, ever give up. And week after week, month after month, year after year, any obstacle that she would encounter, she would always face it and she would defeat it. If it wasn't for Sharon, we would not have an updated alumni directory. If it was not for Sharon's follow-through, we wouldn't have a website. We'd still be working on it. So Sharon really taught us the value of perseverance, and it's done tremendous wonders for us in our career and personal life.
We'd also like to thank Raul Vasquez, who never took us to lunch. In fact, I always picked up the tab at Sagrado Steakhouse, so this time, I guess this is your way of saying thank you, and we can say you're welcome.
Raul, I know you're in the room, he's not even listening to us. But we have to tell you something, Raul. More than anyone in this entire organization, you are the one person that we really look to as the embodiment of Leadership Corpus Christi, because when we were on the board, you brought a spirit of enthusiasm and you fought to engage our alumni every meeting. And you single-handedly revamped and reinstituted the issues and answers luncheons, and it really engaged our alumni. You taught us about fighting for what was right and taught us about looking at the organization and doing what was best. So we thank you very much because you made our years very special.
We would also like to take the opportunities to thank our families, our parents, Homer's grandpa, grandparents that are here today, our friends, our co-workers, our boss, Andy, right at you, and our husbands.
Yes, we wouldn't do anything without them. Now we're going to close up, but we have 4 very important people to thank individually. The first person I want to thank that really makes Leadership Corpus Christi for me is Jessica Davila-Burnett. So thank you, Jessica. We've had a lot of fun together. A lot of people don't know this, but we were roommates at the closing retreat. That's a story that we can tell you on the side, but no, that's a story we won't tell you. But the next person I'd like to thank is Andy Crocker. I think all of you know him, who really taught me about kindness and telling me to do what I said I was going to do when I was very young. And so I'm very grateful to him and all that he's lent me over the years. I'd also like to thank my dear friend Joanne Kernick. She's here, and for years we worked together, and she just taught me a lot about life, so thank you. And the last person who's not here is Pam O'Connor. Pam O'Connor was my mentor, and she took me to lunch every month with Coretta Graham and Andrew DiGranato and asked me if I liked leadership, did I not like leadership, could I do something better, how would I change it, and she challenged me to be in a steering committee to make those changes. And so I'm really grateful to Pam. She was really amazing.
And before alumni, I would like to thank Debbie Lindsay, who's not here tonight, but she's a wonderful mentor. I'd like to thank Chris Adler, who said, your journey's not over with Leadership Corpus Christi. Chris had me apply for Leadership Texas, and Claudia Jackson also wrote my recommendation, so thank you to those ladies, and to my brother Jerry Davila, who really put the word leadership family to a true meaning, so thank you. And to baby Omar. Thank you, Omar. Omar makes work and volunteering so much fun.
Okay, so that's it. So thank you very much. We are very appreciative. We would like to say to Cecil, thank you for getting us 2 awards, because we love each other, we love working together, but we don't share.
No. I'd like to dedicate my award tonight to Susan Oliver from class 36.
And I'd like to dedicate my award to Eric. We are both in the steering committee, they were in class, and they are both very special to us.
Thank you.
All right,
and we appreciate the efforts they have both given to the community above